Hey guys, I hope everyone is doing well. I just wanted to come on here and give you guys some kind of update. As we get to know updates, I want to let you guys know some updates. So there is a more, what's the word? Not stricter protocol, but a protocol that we're kind of all going by now as far as testing. So we got a new email today. So basically, like the guidelines for testing, you have to basically have like a fever of above 101 or a cough. I'm sorry, a fever above 101 and a cough, or a fever above 101 and shortness of breath. In addition to, it could be any one of these things. So you can have that in addition to a known exposure to a person that has corona within the last 24 days. If you travel to highest countries such as China, Iran, Japan, South Korea, Europe, or Washington State, or if you're immunocompromised, if you have cancer, or you're a transplant patient, or if you have any kind of lung disease, such as asthma or COPD. So, if you have all of that, or a mixture of that, so you have to remember, it has to be a fever above 101 or greater, plus a cough, or 101 and greater plus shortness of breath, in addition to the other risk factors that I just said. So basically it has to be any of those. And I have great news today, because before we were testing at my workplace, we were actually doing the tests for this for patients, and I'm very happy to say that we are not doing them anymore. We're actually going to refer them to a testing center. And actually, basically you have to come to us to get the order to get the test, because you have to be like basically weeded out if you can or can't get the test, or you cannot get the test. So basically you come to us to get the order for it, and then we redirect you to a testing center where you have to stay in your car and all of that. So my opinion on this, that's wonderful and all that, but really there is no point in you coming to an urgent care location or to an emergency room just to get a test, when you can just go to the testing center place. So don't get me wrong, you cannot just walk up to the testing center place or drive up there in your car. What you should do is do a virtual visit or an e-visit. Atrium Health provides these. Novant, I think, does also. So you go online and sign up for an e-visit or a virtual visit, and that way you can tell them your symptoms, and they will direct you to a testing center and put the order in there for you. So when you drive up, that you already have an order that you have the okay to get tested. So the testing centers are in different locations around Charlotte. I know when you go to Google, they don't really list the addresses, because they want people to actually like do an e-visit or a virtual visit to see if you're a candidate so you can get the test. But they have them in Huntersville, Concord, Albemarle, Lincolnton, Charlotte, Monroe, Shelby, Fort Mill. They have a lot of different ones that you can drive up to, and those are just the CMC ones or the Atrium ones. But Novant has some, as well as Triumph Medical Partners also has drive-up sites. So whatever your insurance carries, go through them. But basically, there's going to be a lot of sites coming up here soon. So that's good news, because when you go to the drive-in site, you stay in your car and a nurse comes over to you, swabs you while you're in the car, so you don't have any exposure to anyone. The problem is that when you come into urgent care, you literally are exposing all of us to it, and the people in the waiting room, and the children who might be there, and the elderly people who might be there, when you could have just made an e-visit and done that online and gone to a testing center. So we really don't advise you to go to the urgent care or the ED for that. The only reason you should be going to the emergency room is because you're having complications from the coronavirus. What the ED is seeing, from what I hear, what they're getting irritated with is that people are coming in there basically feeling horrible because they have coronavirus and high fevers, and there's nothing they can give you. Like, there's no medicine, there's no treatment of this. You need to go home and rest and do symptomatic treatment and take Tylenol. Do not take ibuprofen. Take Tylenol for your fever, and that's it. Like, they cannot do anything more for you. The only reason you should go to the ED with this is if you have true shortness of breath and you feel like you can't breathe. That's when you have to go to the emergency room. Other than that, I'm sorry to tell you, they cannot do anything for you, and you're gonna go there and get a bill for no reason, because they're not gonna be able to do anything for you. There's no treatment for this. It's treated just like the flu. You go home and you rest, and you drink fluids, and you sleep, and you rest, and stay in isolation. So it's not really a point of you guys bombarding the ED because you can just, for a test, you should do a virtual visit or an e-visit, and then get the order put into your chart and show up at the drive-through center and get your test there. Okay, and something I wanted to tell you also. So everyone's coming up and saying like, oh, I want the test. This one guy came in and like literally had an injury from a fall, fell off his bike, and he was like, well, while I'm here, I want to get the corona test. First of all, and not in a million years would that happen in that situation, but second of all, if people, I think, actually understood what the corona test actually was, you probably would not want it unless you truly needed it. Because me seeing people go through it, I honestly don't even know if I would really want the test, because it's not going to change my course of treatment regardless. So whether I'm positive or not, if I'm feeling symptomatic, I still need to just go home and sleep and rest and get over it within the 14 days. You know, like you have to be in self-isolation regardless. But whether, some people just have to know if they're positive for or not for their own sanity. But the test sucks. Okay, so like the flu test, which we do all the time, the flu test basically is a Q-tip that goes in the nose and it goes right up to like here, right? It's not too bad. It used to have to go all the way up, but now it doesn't. This one is a nasopharyngeal swab, which means that it goes up the nose and it goes to the part where basically your pharynx connects to your nose. So basically it's like half your throat and through your nose, which is horrible. So it's a skinny Q-tip, and we put it in your nose and it goes all the way up here. And then when it's up here, it actually bends. So before we put the Q-tip in your nose, you have to bend the Q-tip so that it curves. Once it hits that point, it's able to curve down to go down towards your throat. And then we do a swab and swivel it around 3 to 5 times. Then we take it out of your nose, and we also need to do it in the other nostril and put it all the way back here, down here to your throat 3 to 5 times, swivel it, and it is not fun. And you feel like you probably can't breathe because you already feel like you can't breathe as it is, and then you're coughing nonstop, which is a whole nother reason why we need the proper equipment, because people who are doing these tests, they're getting coughed on nonstop. Thankfully we have an N95 mask, at least I do, and I have a little face shield thing now, so I'm just keeping that until it breaks or something like that, because we don't have a ton of supplies. So basically I'm glad that after today, as of right now, it could change, I'm not going to be doing any more tests. But we will direct you to the place where you can get the tests, okay? And I'm going to save a whole nother video for the CDC and their mask and what they said about us. If we run out of masks, we should just wear bandanas, because I just can't even touch on that right now. I cannot even talk about that right now because I've had a long day, and that's going to be a whole nother topic in itself. So I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope you are staying at home. And just stay at home, please, in isolation. Do not come outside unless you absolutely need to, okay? So we're doing this not just for ourselves, we're doing this for everybody else, okay? So don't, stay at home and act like you already got it, because these are the 2 weeks we can try to get these numbers down. All right, so keep messaging me questions so I can keep making videos for you guys. Thanks, guys. Be safe. Bye.